which added a lot for me. I decided, and Jason Powell was in here, and he's been on our show, and he'll be on probably in the future as well. How much did you think that added to everything?
Oh, I thought it was great. I mean, between him and I can't remember his name now from
Wade
the other
Keller?
one. From
Wade
the other
Keller?
website.
Yeah.
Yeah. It brings more of an insight to the project. I mean, because not only do you have the inside source with the actual wrestlers themselves and the crew, but you do also have the quote unquote outsiders and these people that run these blogs and run these websites who are following the news and following what's going on and getting just like a different perspective on everything. And I thought it was a really good touch.
Yeah, it actually made it have a real feel, like a sports feel to it, because they actually included the people that cover it.
Can I add that I was totally shocked and surprised that I saw Billy Corgan on there?
I know, seriously, where did that come from?
He came on the screen and they didn't put his name down at first on the screen, and I'm like, God, that was like Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah, he was all over the place.
He comes around the second time, and I was like, whoa, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was a big surprise. I didn't expect that either. So, okay, one thing I liked was the constant cuts between the past and the present. Going back and forth between the past and showing everybody in 2012. I was kind of feeling it was like Axel Rotten and Balls Mahoney. Kind of feel bad for those two, looking at them now. I didn't realize Axel Rotten had Bell's palsy until watching that back. What do you think?
It was all around. I mean, I can't really say anything bad about this documentary. It was so well done. Every aspect of it was just phenomenal. I mean, I truly enjoyed every second of that documentary. It was so well done. I was proud to watch it, and honestly, I was even more proud that we got a chance to speak to one of the creators.
Yeah. Well, a couple of topics I'll just throw out there. I just want to see how you liked how they covered it. Was the Eric Koulis situation?
Yeah.
And how crazy is New Jack? How crazy is that man?
Yeah. They did what they could. I mean, it told the story. It told the story well.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust New Jack with a pen, let alone a knife. That guy is a lunatic. Oh my God!
Honestly, I completely forgot about the lawsuit when they mentioned it.
Yeah, the lawsuit, and he's going to Disneyland, bitch. That was the best line, probably the entire documentary for me. I'm going to Disney World, bitch. I didn't expect that line at all. But actually, I found out something listening to a torture interview the next day about this, and there was actually another reason that wasn't in the documentary on why the pay-per-view got pulled. It was the Sandman Raven, Sandman Sun storyline. On top of the Eric Koulis storyline, incident. So both of them are the reasons why it got pulled.
Oh, interesting.
So that's something that's not even in there that I found out. So
interesting.
I like talking to the fans from the arena. Because there was that, I didn't expect them to actually find all those fans to talk, especially Straw Hat Guy and Tony Lewis and people like that. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was. I mean, you can tell that they really had a vision for this documentary because just the people that they reached out to and actually got to be on the documentary. I mean, it really goes to show that it wasn't like it was just like what John said. It was a story about the wrestlers, and it was truly a story about, not the organization or Paul Heyman or whatever it was. It truly was. It was about the wrestlers, and it was about the product, and, seeing the fans on there and, getting their side of the story. I can't say enough about how much I love this documentary.
See, I might actually go in if I'm allowed to do this. I might go in and pull out the Philly sucks chant and put it at the beginning of our show when hockey season comes up from the Elks Lodge fans, because that made me laugh so hard.
I smirked a little bit when I heard that. I was like, yeah, I know that chant.
Yeah, I openly laughed when I heard that. So, yeah, the other big ones with, as Dad elegantly said earlier, he has lost a lot of respect for Paul Heyman after watching this. You missed that rant. He lost a lot of respect for Paul Heyman after watching this documentary this morning. And how do you feel about the man now that you've seen this documentary, Sal?
It's funny that when Dad said that, because towards the end of the documentary, when everything was coming out, I kind of reflected back, and I'm thinking of obviously Paul Heyman of today in WWE, and it truly is it is an opinion changer. I mean, I know he did everything that he could to save the company, and you have to kind of when you're in that kind of position, you have to put in a false sense of security there with the people, because losing people left and right, I'm sure that really hurt the brands. But at the same time, like you're messing with people's livelihood here, and you're messing with people's family and their ability to feed their family and to put a roof over their head. So I truly I'm on the fence. Like, I feel like he had to do what he had to do, but at the same time, I think he could have been a little more sensitive to his wrestlers.
Yeah, I can agree with that 100%. I can understand the point of view of a person trying to keep his dream alive, but I can also understand the point of view of New Jack, who, again, I'll go back to New Jack again. I believe, what did he call him? I believe he called him a fucking scumbag at one point.
Yep.
Yeah, the way you were talking about him, I could agree with that. I mean, give me a break. He was literally intimidating his staff just to stay with them, and they weren't even getting paid for like a year. So,
yeah.
But yeah. Other than that, I have to say, when they actually showed the Extreme Reunion at the very end, that was pretty crazy. 'Cause I heard a lot about that show. To actually see all the crap that went on that show was really actually kind of eye-opening. Especially knowing that Extreme Rising had to cancel their shows over WrestleMania weekend. So that was interesting. And it's also good to know, I will note that Sabu is still alive. Despite how they left that documentary, Sabu is still alive. Not rushed to the hospital. I did get a chuckle out of, does anybody with him have a medical background? Raven? Does anybody with him have a medical background? I don't know why I found that funny. I thought that was pretty funny. Finally, the question that was asked at the end, and this is as a fan, and if anything, I might actually see if I can get Kyle to watch this and maybe get an outsider's opinion on the documentary, because he's not an ECW or even really much of a wrestling fan. So I might just do that, because that is the point of this, is to get the outsider of the wrestling world's point of view. But the question at the end was all this worth it? ECW, was it worth it?
Yes and no. I mean, it's really a hard question to answer, because obviously not being in it, it's kind of easier to answer. But when you believe in something, you're with it until the ship goes down. And I had my fair share of experience with that in the work industry, and working with the company that was going out of business, and you knew what was going on. And
yep, I know that feeling.
You stayed until that ship sank, and you were in the water. So I have to sympathize with these guys. They've been with that company for a long time, and they did everything that they did, and sacrificed their bodies and their lives even for this brand. And after you do all that for 9-10 years, it's kind of hard to not sink with the ship, I guess you can say.
This is very, very true. Again, anyone that is interested in this, I suggest seeing it. It is probably one of the best documentaries I've ever seen. By far one of the best wrestling documentaries. I will also say, this is a supplement. If you would like, watch Rise and Fall, because that is still just as good. That is all the storylines. This is the story. So if you watch them both together, if you have 5 hours of your day, if you watch them both together, that is the complete story of ECW. Together. So that I will say. On that note, you can get the DVD at barbedwirecity.com. And again, you had the interview for John Philip is on last week's show. Let's go to our last break of the show, and we will come back, and we will talk about modern-day professional wrestling.
Let's
Sound
do
good?
it.
I'm booking myself a one-way flight. I gotta see the color in your eyes. You're telling myself I'm gonna be alright. Without you, baby, is a waste of time. Yeah, our first date, girl, the seasons changed. The God washed away in the summer rain. You can't undo a fall like this, 'cause love don't know what distance is. Yeah, I know it's crazy. One more kiss, it doesn't make sense to anybody else. Who cares if you're all I think about? I've searched the world and I know now it ain't right if you ain't lost your mind. Yeah, I don't want easy, I want crazy. Are you with me, baby? Let's be crazy. Be scared, don't wanna know why. I wanna feel good, don't have to be right. The world makes all kinds of rules for love. I see.
All right, we're back. That is Hunter Hayes. I Want Crazy, which I absolutely love that song. And it almost reminds me of my wife. I think everyone thinks we're crazy. So, Sal, you still with me? Sal?
Yep, I'm here.
There you are. All right. Let's get into some news, WWE news. We have two items here. First, we have, of course, the big John Cena injury. Suffering a right Achilles tendon injury on the European tour. Cena and JR have both confirmed this injury as legit. Going into everything this week, Sal, what are you thinking?
Terrible timing.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you more, especially going into his match with Ryback, of all people.
Yeah.
He did wrestle on Monday night. Well, kind of. If you want to call that wrestling. It's more along the lines of he goes in, doesn't move, and tags right out. Because I have a feeling that's how the European tour was for the last couple of days. But yeah, I want to know how bad this injury is, especially because I don't know what the stipulation is going to be for Cena Ryback yet. How bad is this injury, and is he going to have to drop the title because of it?
I think they're selling it to be worse than it really is, because if it was really that bad, he definitely wouldn't have been on Raw in the ring at all, especially lifting for an AA.
Very, very, very true. Actually, we just got breaking news on. I'll get to that in a second. We just got a breaking news story on Pro Wrestling Net. I'll get to that in a second. The other item, before I get to this breaking news that's up here, is the WWE and Yahoo announced a partnership to do a Raw pre-show for a half an hour exclusively on the web portal. That actually is the first announcement from Yahoo. The other one was that they are going to be the exclusive home of WWE videos coming in the summertime, which makes you wonder if the YouTube channel is going to be taken down and sent over to Yahoo. What are you thinking on this one?
That's interesting, actually. It's it seems like they just signed into this contract with YouTube not too long ago, so it seems kind of odd that they're jumping ship to the competitor.
Yeah, it surprised me too. Yeah, sorry, I'm just a little distracted. The WWE quarterly conference call is going on. I'm just actually reading the article to see if anything important is in here. You know what I mean? Like any network updates or anything. Oh, here we go. Call it